أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum, my dear brothers and sisters. I hope you're well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى. In Surah Al-A'la, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, successful is he who purifies himself and remembers the name of his Lord and he prays, but you prefer the life of this world, although the hereafter is better and more lasting. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He makes a comparison between two people. Those who achieve success by purifying themselves and ridding themselves of the desires of this world and the desire to achieve the glory and the riches and the wealth of this world, against those who prefer the life of this world and they don't prefer the life of the next. Even though the life of the next is better, it will last longer, it will never ever diminish, and it will never ever finish. But here there's a comparison between two people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's saying that people will always be result orientated. What is your result? If you want to achieve all of the wealth and glory of this world, fine, your whole life will be geared towards that, but at some point it will run out, and at some point you will never be satisfied, because the nafs is insatiable. No matter how much money you have, you'll always want more. No matter how much power you have, you will always want more. No matter how much glory and status you have in society, you will always want more. But those who prefer the life of this world, in Jannah, where they will be given gardens and given palaces and given land which will be forever lasting, and there will be no grief and there will be no sadness. This is what should be preferred. What is your result going to be? If your result is to be successful, أَفْلَحَ مَنْ تَزَكَّى, then you have to purify yourself. How do we purify ourselves? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says it very simply. He says, وَذَكَرَ اسْمَ رَبِّهِ فَصَلَّى, and he prays. Why? Because إِنَّ الصَّلَاةَ تَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنكَرِ. Prayer is there to purify. It's there to forgive the minor sins and to prevent you from being undertaken by the major sins. And the end result of your prayer, the purpose of prayer is worship, and the purpose of the worship is to achieve this tazkiyah. Because when we, for example, when we educate people, when we educate our children, education is not the end result, but tazkiyah should be the end result. We educate our children. Why? Not so they can learn arbitrary facts and figures, not so they can just get a job, but we want them to be able to think critically, understand, reflect, apply, so that they can achieve this tazkiyah. The tazkiyah should always be the end result of everything. So there are two models that we're looking at. We're looking at the Quranic model, the prophetic model, and then we're looking at the non-prophetic model. The Quranic and prophetic model is always going to point towards what? Tazkiyah and prayer, or tazkiyah through prayer. But and tazkiyah through prayer is given, it's developed so that the people can purify themselves from those things which are going to harm them in this world and the next. What are these things? Things like shirk, things like kufr, things like jealousy and envy and hatred. These are attributes which will destroy communities, destroy societies, destroy individuals. And people, they don't want to achieve tazkiyah. Why? Because we want to enjoy the what this world has to offer. Who doesn't want to have wealth, and who doesn't want to have palaces and large houses and nice cars? But these things, you will be chasing after them for the rest of your life. The world is full of many of these problems, and the world is full of an enjoyment which will never ever ever last. The Quran is there to remove the dirt from the eyes of the people, to prefer the next world over this world. The Prophet's job was to look at the future as if it was happening now, and to remind people that your death, when it comes to you, it might be 40, 50 years now, but you have a task to do, and that is to rid yourself of the wants and the desires of this world, so that you can achieve success and felicity in the next. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, زُيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ, beautified for the people, حُبُّ الشَّهَوَاتِ, is the love of the things which they have desire, which are مِنَ النِّسَاءِ وَالْبَنِينَ وَالْقَنَاطِيرِ الْمُقَنْطَرَةِ مِنَ الذَّهَبِ وَالْفِضَّةِ. What do people desire? They desire, spouses and children and heaped up sums of gold and silver and nice horses and cattle and tilled land. ذَلِكَ مَتَاعُ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا, that these are the enjoyment of the worldly life. وَاللَّهُ عِنْدَهُ, what Allah has with Him, what is to come, is husnul ma'ab, the best return. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding you that this world has been created for a test, and everything which shines and glitters in front of you has been made to look like that, to attract you. But this is a test for you, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to prefer the next world over this world. And we will finish with this amazing poem by Abu al-Atahiyya, who was known for his poetry on Zuhud and sacrificing and giving up the desires of this world. And he said, إِن كَانَ لَا يُغْنِيكَ مَا يَكْفِيكَ فَكُلُّ مَا فِي الْأَرْضِ لَا يُغْنِيكَ. If what suffices you is not enough, then whatever is on the earth will never ever suffice you. If what you have is not enough for you, you're always going to want more. الترك الدنيا النجاة منها لم ترى أنها لك منها عنها. Leaving of the dunya is salvation from it, yet you do not see yourself withdrawing from it. لكل قلب أمل يقلبه يصدقه طورا وطورا يكذبه. Every heart has its wishes that overtakes him. Sometimes it comes through for him, sometimes it belies him and it tricks him. يا طالب الدنيا بالدنيا الهمة أين طلبت الله كأن ثمة كان ثمة أين طلبت الله كانت ثمة. Oh, seek of dunya with the dunya on his mind. Whenever you sought Allah, it proved fruitful. ما عيش من فاته بقاؤه نغص عيشا يا طالب الدنيا بدنيا الهمة أين طلبت الله كانت ثمة. O seeker of the dunya with the dunya on his mind, whenever you sought Allah, it proved fruitful. ما عيش من آفته بقاؤه نغص عيشا طيبا وناؤه. What good is in a life where what comes after is eternal, yet we prefer the good life that is temporary. So my dear brothers and sisters, what's extremely important is to realize what is our objective, be goal oriented. Our goal is to achieve tazkiyah, is to achieve purification of the heart so that we can achieve Jannah. You will never achieve Jannah wanting the wealth of this world. And I ask you all, my brothers and sisters, to please remember to support Cambridge Islamic College with your generous donations. Your donations will help to support the study of future scholars, teachers, and du'at in and outside the UK. You can support them at www.cambridgeislamiccollege.enthuse.com/cf/Ramadan-appeal. JazakAllahu Khayran wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.